Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Authentically Rubes, where we dance through life's biggest emotions and come back to our truest and most authentic selves. I'm Ruby Sprake, your guide to emotional freedom through movement, and I'm here to help you feel at least 1% better every single time you move your body, because it has worked for me, and I know it can work for you too. I am so excited to get into today's episode. We are going to talk about growth and witnessing your own growth because I feel like in the personal growth world, we can get so caught up in wanting to get to the next step. And honestly, I feel a little bit hypocritical even saying that because I'm someone who loves hitting that next step. I love getting to that goal and being like, okay, what's next? What's next? Definitely a Capricorn moon tendency if you know astrology at all. But basically, I had a moment this week that really helped me shift my view on this and helped me to realize that acknowledging our growth along the way, number one, kind of makes us grow even more, which is kind of cool. And number two, makes the journey that much more enjoyable and makes us feel so much more proud of ourselves as we go along, too. So, the moment that I had this week is I was on my way to work and I was carrying two containers filled with food because I was working like an 8-hour shift. I wanted two meals, and one of them fell off as I was walking to my car and smashed all over the ground. And I was like, okay, well, that sucks, but I guess I'll just clean this up and I'll go to work. And luckily, I work at a restaurant. I'll just get food there even though I don't like eating there, but you gotta do what you gotta do some days, so it's okay. So I cleaned it up, went to work, it was all good. And then when I got in my car and I was driving there, I was like, oh my God, like who was that person who responded so calmly to that? Like, who the hell is she? I've never seen her before. Because the past version of me would have had a full mental breakdown over that. I would have flipped my shit. Like, I would have been crying. I would have let that ruin my entire day. And I would have gone to my shift in the worst mood ever. But, like, that didn't happen. And I was so surprised. And I was like, how did I respond so differently instead of reacting so poorly like I did in the past? And then it hit me like, wow, this is growth. Like, this is something that you have worked on for years now, to not let external things make you so frustrated, or to not let things going in a way that you didn't expect or unexpected changes to fully just set you off and make you just spiral downwards. And I remember when I came home that night, I was reflecting and I was just like, wow, I'm so proud of myself. Like, this was so many years in the making, but it was so worth it to feel this right now. And it got me thinking too, like, how many other moments have I had like that I've overlooked, that I haven't acknowledged? Because this may seem like a really small thing that I just changed how I responded in that moment. But to me, like, that was a really big thing actually, because literally just like a few months ago, I would have responded so differently. So it's just crazy to see that all those little actions every day, all those times that I showed up for myself really paid off. And I think that that's just so like reassuring to experience and to hear too. But going back to acknowledging these things, I'm sure I've had so many other little things before this that I didn't even think of, that I completely looked over, and I'm sure that you do too. We all have this evidence of our growth every single day. And I think it's kind of fun to actually just allow our mind to be open to it and to look for it too. And I really want you to think about it today and think about something that you can be proud of yourself for, something you can acknowledge yourself for, that you have shifted, that the past version of you would be freaking out about, that they would be so excited about, that they wouldn't even be able to comprehend that you act that way now. And if you are finding it difficult to do that, because I definitely do find it difficult sometimes to actually see the evidence of what I'm doing. I'm someone who is in the process of enjoying the delayed gratification. I've always been someone who wants the instant gratification right away and the instant win, or I don't feel as invested in it and I don't trust it. But what has helped me, like, on the way there of being more okay with the long term win versus the short term is starting to see these small things as wins, starting to find things that I'm proud of myself for, and no longer overlooking all these ways that I do show up just because I've normalized them. Or I think, oh, like that's not that great. Like every single way that we show up for ourselves is important. Every single way that we show up for ourselves is a win within itself. And honestly, I feel like I need to be reminded of that sometimes. And I hope that this is a reminder to you too, because it's easy to forget when we have big dreams and big goals and we are so focused on getting to those things and living those visions. But I think the way that we get to those things in a way that's actually enjoyable and we don't feel so lacking and feeling like we keep going up and down with our mood and we're unsure of how we're actually going to get there is coming back to these small wins. Because my thoughts are how can we enjoy all of these steps that are going up to our huge wins if we just decide to overlook every single one of them? Like the big win won't feel as good. And for me, like that's been a huge intention is enjoying the journey more, enjoying the process because life isn't as fun if we're just waiting for every big win that we have and only feeling good then and then just feeling like mediocre the rest of it. Like I'm not here for that. That's not a vibe. I'm sure you're not either because that sounds literally boring and no fun at all. And it sounds like most of our life would just be filled with not feeling that great. I don't want to live a life like that. So, a way that you can start acknowledging your growth, seeing that evidence, and experiencing those little wins is first thing is committing to one way that you want to show up for yourself, or even just reflecting one thing that you always do for yourself, one way that you always show up. This could be the tiniest thing. This could be making your bed every single morning. This could be brushing your teeth every morning. Like, if you really need to simplify it so much and start off super easy, that is a great place to start because this is showing your brain and creating these neural pathways in your brain that, wow, I can celebrate myself and I can consider these things wins. And then you just continuously start to add to that. But I think committing to one thing that you know is just going to help you and your growth every single day is huge. Like for myself, I've recently committed to doing a 5 minute visualization every single night before bed. I have just set a little timer for 5 minutes and I visualize what I want my life to be like. I visualize my goals, I visualize my dreams, and it just feels so easy because I made it easy. I made it just 5 minutes. I always have 5 minutes before I go to sleep to be able to do this. And I made it where I just sit in my bed and I just set a timer and I close my eyes and that's it. And before that, I just like wrote out all my goals so I had an idea of what I wanted to visualize. But that was just like my one step before. And now that I have that, it's simple. This could also be like going to the gym or doing a workout every day or eating healthy. Like there's so many different ways that you can approach this, but I want you to start seeing all those ways that you show up as a win. Even going through your day to day, think about all the things that you did, all the things that you maybe think is normal, that you maybe don't really give yourself credit for usually. Go back and really think about those things. Like you've actually accomplished a lot in your life so far, even if your outside world doesn't necessarily show that. I think the biggest win is when we start to feel good on the inside. So if you can commit to one thing that makes you feel good every single day, like that is the biggest win within itself. And the more that you do that, the more that you show up with that mindset, with that reframe, this new perspective, that's where it all shifts. That's where things start to become so much clearer. That's where the aligned action steps start to come into our mind's eye, and we're able to feel so much more clarity and creativity. And it's just magic on magic from there. And come back to this whenever you feel like you need that reminder. I think that sometimes we expect ourselves to be perfect all the time and expect ourselves to use all these tools and practices that we've ever learned. But like sometimes we forget. We get busy. We get caught up in what's going on around us. And sometimes it just takes a reminder to come back inward, to remember those commitments we made to ourselves, to recommit, and also doing our best to not see needing these reminders or needing to recommit as a failure. Like, I set a goal this year to journal every day. I've missed like 6 days this year. And on the first day that I missed, I literally wanted to give up and not do it anymore. But I was like, you know what? What are 6 days out of 365? That's still freaking impressive. And you know what? I might miss more. I don't want to put that out there, but I might, because we still have a whole lot of days left in the year. But it's the fact that it's the fact that you continue to show up and you continue to stay committed to yourself and you continue to celebrate yourself and be proud of yourself. And a way to feel even more proud of yourself is at the end of the day, thinking of 3 things that you're proud of yourself for before you go to sleep. You can write them down. You can even more than 3 too. But I say like just start with 3. And they can be again bare minimum things. And also, one more little like hack that I use is whenever I'm just feeling down or doubtful or finding it hard to acknowledge my wins, to celebrate myself, to be proud of myself, I first think of 3 things I'm grateful for, because gratitude always starts to shift your energy no matter what. And I think of 3 things I'm proud of myself for, and I force myself to find 3 things. That is the power of celebrating. That's the power of seeing the wins. It's because the more that you look for them, the more that you will find them. That's what our reticular activating system in our brains is doing. It's called our RAS. It's literally what we choose to focus on is what we're going to see in our life. And it's like a little life hack for you to use. So I also invite you just to comment down below, like something you're proud of yourself for, a little win, acknowledging your own growth. I would love to hear how far you have come to, because I know that even though it may be hard to find it sometimes, it may be hard to see it, I know that you have done something in your life that you can be proud of, that deserves the win, that deserves the celebration, and it's time for you to remember that today too. I'll even say one for myself to start. Today, I'm proud of myself for not giving up when a task that I was doing took over an hour to complete, and I felt so frustrated by it, but I kept going. I'm really proud of myself for not giving up in that moment. And that is a win right there. So start training yourself to find that win, and you will slowly start to experience more wins. It's literally science. I'm not making this shit up. It will start to be more of something that you embody in your life, and it'll be something that's going to start showing up more in your life too. So even just try it out like as an experiment and just see what happens. If you have a harsh inner critic, this is literally perfect for you. I'm still recovering from being my worst critic for basically the first 20 years of my life. So it takes time. But the more you do it, the more you're gonna get to acknowledge and experience that growth more and more, and then more you accept and love yourself in the process too, which is really what it is all about. You come back to your true self, your most authentic self, and I just think that is so beautiful, and I think that is our point of life and our whole purpose. So thank you so much for listening today. I appreciate you so much. I'm so grateful to have you here. I would love if you could leave a review, leave a comment, subscribe down below, share it with someone else who needs this reminder today. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode next week. I love you so much. I hope you are, and I hope you have an amazing day filled with wins, because I know you've got at least one win in there. And just remember, you are the magic, and you have the ability to make magic in your life every single day. Bye.